hello to all of my BPTV friends, YouTube friends, Facebook friends. I'm Alan Levine, the Talking Machine, doing my 89th The Talking Machine Show special. I'm at the Lamont Restaurant here on Mount Washington. I've been going here for, I hate to say, but over 40 years. The food is still great, and we're going to have a great time. My friend Joanne and Bonnie, they have the Pittsburgh Hall of Fame for women, and they have their 10th annual The Spirit of the 19th Amendment. And they have this great guest here who's an author, a military person, my first major general to interview. I'm honored and blessed. Please tell us your name.
It's great to be here with you. I'll tell you, my name is Mary Kay Eater. I was born in Grove City, Pennsylvania, grew up in Mercer County.
Wow.
And it's always good to be home.
Yes, well, I know you got the Western Pennsylvania blood here, and you've drank the water here, and it makes us special in my mind. So you grew up in Grove City.
Close to there. I grew up in Stoneboro, Pennsylvania, which is even smaller than Grove City.
I know when I bring up the little town, they go, no, it's outside of there.
Yeah.
So where'd you go to school?
I went to school at Edinboro.
Nice. I have friends that went there too.
Now part of Penn West, but then it was Edinboro State College.
I remember those days.
I have T-shirts from every incarnation of Edinboro.
Wow, I love that. And where'd you go to high school and grade school? What were they called, just to get a little background?
I went to grade school in Stoneboro.
Okay.
And high school was Lakeview High School.
Okay.
Which had kids from about a 30-mile radius. It was a school that brought in farm kids for the most part.
Sure, so you were very rural.
Very rural.
Yeah.
Last day of school now, you can drive your tractor to work.
No way. That's so cool to have memories of that. Were you good in school?
Not particularly.
Understand. No, I like to get that out.
I was okay in school. It wasn't as competitive or difficult, I think, as it is now.
Did you like it or
kids.
not?
I liked the English classes and the English literature. And I wanted to be a journalist and a writer.
Wow, I love that.
But I didn't care for the math. I did like biology, but I wasn't very good at it.
No, and biology's tough. That was one of my toughest classes, so I understand that. Did you want to go to college?
I did. I wanted to go far away from home.
Okay.
Because most of my family went to Grove City, and that was too close.
Do you have brothers or sisters?
Older brother who went to Grove City.
Okay.
My older sister went, I think, part-time to Penn State.
My daughter's from Penn State. We are.
Yeah. There's Penn State in Sharon, Pennsylvania, too.
Yeah, I know. They got a few campuses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. No, that's cool. Well, did you go to Edinboro then?
I went to Edinboro. I got a bachelor's in English, worked in the sports department as a photographer, worked on the college yearbook.
That is great.
I also got a master's from Edinboro.
Congratulations. I appreciate highly educated people. Go to school if you're in sports. Make sure you get a degree. Little promotion there.
There you go.
Get it. Yeah, so how did you get into the military?
Well, while I was still at Edinboro, one of my sorority sisters was in the Army. Legacy, her dad had been in the Army, and she was enjoying it and traveling, and I thought I could do that for a couple years.
So your mind was open to any adventure that could be out there?
To be able to travel, to be able to go to different places, to see and learn new things. I was all up for that.
And from a little town girl. That's
Absolutely.
Awesome. I like your attitude there. Definitely.
Well, by that point, I'd only ever been to Canada, and that was Niagara Falls.
I love Niagara Falls. Been there many times. The Canadian side's the best. If you know anything, go there.
I was there last year, and I think I was on the Canadian side.
No, it's great. I took my young kids up to the park they had there, and just the parks and everything are just so great up there. It's amazing.
It is. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and then seeing fireworks. We had a hotel up on the hill, and the fireworks were coming up towards us. We're above the fireworks on Friday nights.
Well, I'll do an advertisement for you. The Great Stoneboro Fair is coming up here.
Yeah.
Always on Labor Day. It's been there since 1886.
Wow,
and
I
there
honor
will be
history.
Fireworks.
Yeah. You heard it here first. Go there. All right, so you got into the military. What did you do to get in?
Well, at that time, they were doing direct commission into the Women's Army Corps. This was the very end of the WAC era, the Women's Army Corps era.
Yeah.
So I was only in that for about a year or so before transitioning, and I was in the Signal Corps
No way.
at first. Wasn't thrilled with that. They had put me in it because I wanted to do public affairs.
Okay. So
But-
you had to be flexible and do that.
At first.
Yeah.
And then I transferred into the Military Police Corps, which stayed my basic branch, and later I did get into public affairs.
Listen closely if you went in the military. My dad was an artilleryman in 1950 in Korea. My son was 13 years ago in the Navy on the Dwight D. Eisenhower. Now he's back on American cruise lines up near Boston.
Still sailing.
Yes, he's on the ocean. He wanted to get back, and he loves it. So you liked your military career, to say the least.
I liked my career in the reserves. I stayed on active duty about 5 years,
Okay.
and then I went into the reserves to begin to work more in getting into public affairs, public relations.
And that was your passion.
It was, and I was able to get into public affairs in the reserves as well. So
Wow,
one career
you're a
supported
dual
the other.
threat. Yeah, that is
And
great.
that was great. That was absolutely great. I did not come back on full-time active duty until after 9/11.
Wow, those were crazy times.
Very much.
Definitely. No, it was so sad, and
Yeah.
look what happened there. They're still talking about it, how that could happen.
I was in Germany then. I'd been in Germany for 4 years at that point.
Wow.
Working
How
at
was
this-
it being in the military in Germany?
Well, at that point, it was, I think, a great time and a great place to be. I worked at the George C. Marshall Center,
Okay.
which is an international training
I've heard
institution.
of it, yeah.
So I was able to do both PR there, and I got to teach. So I taught the role of a free press in a democracy to,
Thank you for your service, and thank you for the
Thank you.
extended service.
and I taught senior defense officials from 36 countries.
Wow.
So I had a wonderful time. My German skills were not what they should be. They're a little better now.
Right. Well,
Today I can talk to you about yesterday and tomorrow. Then I can only talk about right now.
Okay. We can handle that. I appreciate that because I don't live in the past. I respect it. And I live in the moment, and I'm looking forward to the future. So
Absolutely.
you're carrying on with me. And how many years did you have in the military?
36.
Wow, you tied me 36 years at the Pittsburgh Press.
Well, you know, there's a whole, I think, up and down to this whole process. So
Sure.
about 12 years you think, am I ever going to hit 20? And after 20 you're like, I don't want to leave.
Well, I was a little unusual. I wanted to be out by I was 30 years old. And I didn't make it. I got out at 54 and 15 years ago, and newspapers are failing, and they said, why are you leaving? I go, they're closing down newspapers because of the internet. And they didn't catch on, and look what happened to newspapers.
Because they didn't change with the times.
Exactly.
Because people don't know how to change.
Right.
Rather
And-
than invent something new or a different way to go.
Well,
So I think we're seeing some new ways now with Substacks.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool now with
I
what they're
think so.
doing. And do you do anything on the internet? Can we get a hold of you anywhere there?
I have my own website for my books.
Well, say it there.
Okay, it's MaryKayEater.com, or you can go to the real name of it, which is BensonsReview.com. This is for my speaking engagements, for promoting my books, and people can contact me through that.
Well, we got to segue into your book.
Okay.
Can you hold up? I'll hold it right in front of you. This
Okay.
is your book.
This is
We'll-
my
we'll
first nonfiction.
Yeah, let Vinny get a picture of that.
It's called The Girls Who Stepped Out of Line. It's a World War II book.
I love the title and I love the history there.
And my second book is about police women in New York. Because one of my girlfriends said to me, well, your first book was nice and all that.
Yeah,
Why
of
don't
course.
you write about my husband's grandmother, who was a cop in New York starting in
Wow.
1918?
1918.
So that book led to me speaking at the NYPD,
Wow, that is
meeting
great.
the police captain who is now in charge of the precinct where she was in Queens.
Wow.
And in 2 weeks, they're going to name the street in front of that precinct for her.
That
because
is
of the book.
amazing. Say her name.
Her name is Mary Foley, and she went by May. She was a
Wow.
detective.
Great history. You're feeding into my history mind here.
Oh.
These are two books I got to put on my list for sure.
Well, you'll like the next one because it's sports, but it's
Oh.
not out yet. Won't be out till next year.
Well, I love sports myself, coming from a sports family and only doing 1,000 Pittsburgh Sports Line shows. So, yes. have that reputation. But I read history all the time, military every time, ancient history, you name it.
Do you have
I'll
a
read
prediction
history.
for the Steelers for this year?
They're not going to be great because we have a problem with our offense and defensive lines. And then there's a conundrum here. How do you not have two good wide receivers? Then you trade a running back, Najee Harris. A lot of people in Pittsburgh didn't respect him. He gained all those yards on his first contract with a terrible offensive line. So we didn't improve that. And how do you win? We've been lucky, and the streak that bothers me, you're hitting a hot point, is you have 18 years of a non-losing season. 2 of them were 8-8 when they weren't great. So to me, I don't know about you, but you saw the Super Bowls and witnessed all that. From
I got to meet Rocky Blyer, and that was a big thrill.
I'm friends with him. I was friends with my friend Franco Harris that passed away. Know a lot of Steelers, and those were truly the days. I knew Andy Russell, one of the smartest Steelers, one of the great Steelers. He should be in the Hall of Fame. You're hitting a high point. This was supposed to be my interview of you. What happened here? You flipped the page. So are you a fan of sports?
So, well, now I'm in Washington, so all I hear about are the Commanders.
Yeah.
But I have friends in Green Bay who have taken me all through Lambeau Field, given me the full
That's
tour.
legendary.
It is. It's the biggest gift shop I have ever seen.
Yes.
I now have a cheesehead.
No, I believe it.
But they know there are people who come there for the love of the game.
Right.
Not necessarily the team.
Right.
So they do honor Lambeau Field and its history as well.
Oh, that is great. Well, you're showing me that you have an open mind being a Steeler fan. I have to tell people on my show I'm not an ugly Steeler fan. If you like Cleveland, I respect you, but I have sympathy and empathy for you.
There you go. I'll tell you, for years I would buy Army T-shirts, Army things for my nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
And I finally realized they were only wearing them because they were black and gold.
That's good.
There it is.
Well, I have a brother-in-law been in the reserve, the Army Reserve, and my son's been in the Navy. So when it's Army-Navy game, there's a little bit of dissension there.
Yeah, I used to wear a Navy T-shirt and a Army sweatpants and just confuse everybody.
Major General, I like your style. This is good, but I wanted to close this out with to inspire other people on my Talking Machine shows. I always say the last 2 minutes, how would you inspire somebody to try what you did or to be successful in life?
So one of my favorite quotes is, "I will find a way or make one." There is always a way for you to get to be successful, even if it's not a standard path. Nobody believes in you, but you believe in yourself, and you never quit. You get knocked down, you get up, and you keep going.
I love it. Thank you for that, and thank all of you for watching, and see you next time. This was a great number 89th Talking Machine show.
Go Steelers.
Yes. All right. I have another great guest. Will you please introduce yourself?
Pam Iovino. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I know who you are. You're an awardee today. So Joanne asked me to interview all the awardees. So you're my next interview. How are you today?
I'm really well, and I'm very proud to have been nominated for the award and to accept it today. It was a great event.
Yes, and you gave a nice, short little award acceptance, and that was appreciated. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Whitehall, in the South Hills.
I know the communities. Where'd you go to school?
Went through the Baldwin Whitehall School District,
Okay.
Graduated from Baldwin High School. Can I omit the year?
You can mention it. I never ask women their ages, so you don't have to.
Then I went on to Gettysburg College, and after that, after college, I went to Officer Candidate School and got a commission.
What made you do that?
Did
you get a degree first?
I did. I got a degree. They gave me a degree in political science.
No, I'm understanding why you might have made a decision.
Like that. The idea about going into the military was I had a couple objectives, which was to build some bullets on a resume, get some good leadership experience, and
that'll do it,
and earn some education benefit to go on to graduate school.
And you needed the other thing called credibility.
Credibility. It's certainly honor the military in our country very much.
Thank
so.
you for your service. My dad was an artillery guy in the Korean War. My son is a Navy veteran from 13 years ago on the Dwight D. Eisenhower. So I was number 35 in the draft, 1974. They stopped the draft in 73.
Right then, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't get in. But
no,
I appreciate you doing that. And what did you do there?
So my 4 years that I was only going to stay spread into 23 because I really liked
Pam,
it.
I salute you extra. From 4 to 23, that's over 5 times.
to do it. I was a generalist, and at the time when there was such a thing as an officer who was a generalist.
And what does that mean?
Well, what they wanted you to do is get a broad background of experience in different areas: training, supply, intelligence.
From A to Z, as we used to say.
And it doesn't exist anymore. Everybody's a specialist now. But what I ended up doing the majority of the second half of my career was congressional liaison between the Pentagon and the Hill.
That is so interesting.
It was fabulous.
Yeah.
It was fabulous. And that, it was converging my background and experience and my undergraduate degree, my master's degree.
You tied it all together.
It worked out that way. And then it led to my next job, too.
And what was that?
So I was nominated by President George W. Bush to be the Assistant Secretary for Congressional Affairs at the Department of Veterans Affairs.
I followed your career, so I salute you. I voted for you, not sucking up, but I voted for her in the past.
Thank you. So I retired from the Navy to take that job.
Yeah, well, I got a Navy son in my family, so I salute you.
On the Eisenhower.
Yes, Dwight D. Eisenhower, after they recommissioned it. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Definitely. So what else have you done that we can talk about? Because you might be in the witness protection program now.
No, and I hope not ever.
Okay.
So what I did subsequent to that was boomerang back to Pittsburgh, a hometown that I love and closer to my family.
Don't we all?
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Look at this view.
For very good reason, sitting here in the Lamont. So I taught for a short spell at Robert Morris. I worked for Allegheny County. I was the director of Veterans Affairs for them.
Of course, it makes sense. You know the veterans.
And then in the back of my head was this nagging idea about what could I do with this body of experience that I had, and running for office would always.
Did you want to help others?
I was always in it for that.
Well, I sort of figured that, but I just wanted you to say
you
wanted to help other people, and you felt you could lead and help others.
I had been exposed to politics in a very bipartisan manner, and I also come from the school of thought that it's not a career. It's a service that you do, and then you go back home again.
Couldn't have heard it any better stated.
Term or two.
Yes.
So no, that's where I come from.
No, I love that, and I just wanted to do a quick interview with you and thank you for your service and everything you've done in the communities, and you got a great award from friends of mine. So I wish you well.
Thank you very much.
And good luck in your next chapter.
Thank you.
All right, I got another awardee I have to interview according to Joanne Forrester. Please tell us your name.
My name is Kate Romaine.
And what do you do that you got an award here?
I have no idea what I'm doing here. These are all very impressive people. But I am a chef owner of a catering and events company.
Tell the name.
Oh, it's Black Radish Kitchen.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
And that's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
You must be good, because I've heard about it, and I'm just a lay person here.
Oh.
I don't know what I'm doing except filming and interviewing people. So we'll get along fine.
Yeah, great. Yeah, no, Black Radish, Megan nominated us.
Yeah, Megan's great.
Yeah, she's super good.
And Joanne's great, and your photographer's here with your friend gave you a little boost, so we're good. And smile for the camera. And you've done great things. Tell us about how you started your business.
Well, really, like a lot of people, I found myself in the food service industry after failing at something else. So
Don't we learn from failure?
We certainly do.
I got scars. Look at that back.
I tried myself being an artist. Wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Ended up in the food service industry.
Wow, you're honest and a
Yeah.
chef. That's a good combo.
I just really like to eat.
So do I.
Yeah, it's one of my faves.
I'm with you on that. And you look good being a chef. So
Thanks.
what's your favorite dish?
You know, I love when people ask me that. I don't have one right now. My favorite dish is probably I'm like on a fried rice kick.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's not something I make on the daily.
I always remember shrimp fried rice.
Oh, that's one of the best. Yeah.
I know that from my days of going to Chinatown Inn in Pittsburgh in the 70s.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm a little older than you, so I understand that. And what do you do in the community? You help any other people and stuff?
Well, one of the nice things is we have the catering company sits inside of probably a 3,000 square foot warehouse space.
Where at?
It's in Point Breeze.
I know Point Breeze.
Yeah, it's in the X Factory.
Okay.
So it's a co-working space, and one of the things that we've done since we transitioned from a restaurant into a catering company has been able to bring other chefs in and kind of help them, for lack of a better term, but like incubate into the next phase. So
I'm glad I asked you the other question because that's really nice. You're helping others. And
Yeah.
it's not just about you cooking.
yeah, it's not, but it also helps us. I mean, it helps our
Well, when you give, doesn't that
it
help
always
you?
comes back. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
watching the way other chefs work, the way other chefs prepare, what they're making, how they're doing things, and also like I have a whole team of people that have been in the industry for so long, and we offer lots of different perspectives for new
Right.
people to be able to ask questions for a lot of different chefs.
That's great. How
Yeah.
do they get a hold of you?
You can follow us on Instagram at Black Radish Kitchen, or you can find us on the World Wide Web.
Okay, well, we're doing that. This show will be on YouTube. It's
Cool.
on Public Access TV, BPTV, Verizon 32 in the greater Pittsburgh area.
Great.
And it's under my Talking Machine show. It's my 89th show.
Oh, my
I
God.
promote good people in Pittsburgh.
I love it. I
And
love
so
it. I'm
you're
gonna check
one
it
of
out.
them,
Oh.
and I'm glad I got you to talk and open up about what you're really doing instead of just having fun helping others and
Thanks.
cooking.
Thanks so much. I'm so honored to be here, and thank you so much for taking this time.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Good luck in the future.
Thanks.
All right, I got one of the hosts of the Pennsylvania Women's Hall of Fame celebrating the 10th year spirit of the 19th Amendment. Please tell us your name.
My name is Joanne Forrester, and I am the president of the Pennsylvania Women's Hall of Achievement.
I'm honored, my friend. I only know you for about 13 years, so you can carry on. What's going on here today?
What was going on is the celebration of the 19th Amendment and the introduction of the 2026 Women's Voices Hear Them Speak calendar.
And they were great.
Yes, it was a fun
It
event.
was. It
And
was. And my chicken was delicious, and the salmon looked good. I didn't get one, but we were too late on getting our tag.
Did you get your cookies?
Yeah, I got one of those. Yeah, delicious. Lamont is the best, and Tony, I just talked to, one of the managers, known him for 30-some years, so he's great. No, and look at this view here,
It's absolutely fabulous.
and it's great. We had to pull the blinds down so we could film it, and Vinny got that going on. And what did you think of how it went today?
I was very pleased. I was thrilled with our keynote speaker, Marie K. Etter, our retired general.
Major General, I interviewed her. She's fantastic.
Yes, and the women who received the Spirit of the 19th Amendment Award, they are examples of great women who are doing significant things in our community and region.
Yes, and thank you for letting me interview them, and then now you to close it out.
As always, Alan, you're there to support us, and I greatly appreciate
Yes,
it.
and how can people help you?
People can help us by buying the calendar. It's for sale on the Pennsylvania Women's Hall events.com.
Okay, that's good. Then how can they help you at your next event?
What they can do is, of course, attend, but they can nominate someone for the calendar, for the 2027 calendar, and nominate a Woman Spirit of the 19th Amendment honoree.
Wow, this is so great. How about getting some younger people involved? What do they need to do that?
What we told them today is bring your daughter, bring your grandchildren, bring your niece, your
How am I
nephews.
segueing into that? Pretty good?
You're doing good. Introduce them to our history, because that isn't being taught, and so
No.
much is being missed.
I agree.
And-
I'm a history guy, read every day, and especially Pittsburgh history, women's history. I send you all these great women that
Yes,
do
you
things,
do.
so I'm 100% in on you. So get your young daughters here and granddaughters and
And
nieces,
sons.
nephews. Yeah, and all are welcome.
Yes, and what the cool thing is, history is not boring. It is a story
Not to
of
me.
us.
Yeah.
And it tells the sacrifices and the achievements that people made so that you can be here today.
Right, and people haven't changed. That's why I started reading history as a young man, because I found out they had problems back 3,000, 4,000 years ago.
That's most definitely.
And look at us today. Oh, never mind. So we'll go back to the event. What's coming up for next year then?
Well, what's coming up, we're going to be working on a book highlighting all the women that we have featured over
In your calendars.
in the calendars, and also I'm looking to do some webinars introducing history, making it not boring, making it fun, so
Yes.
that people can understand it's not boring, it's fun, it's entertaining.
Oh, look how entertaining we are. I enjoyed it today, and Vinny and I were surrounded by all women. We were fine.
You guys did wonderful.
Yeah, we truly did, and it was just a great event. I recommend all of you find out, tell them where to go again.
Don't forget to go onto our website, www.pawomensHallEvents.org.
There you go. We got it. We're going to close this out. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your feedback. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.